County Board of Commissioners for December 17th. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of payroll and longevity for 12/19/2025.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion from Rob, second from Steve. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Approval of claims for 12/17/2025.
Second.
Motion from Steve, second from Rob to approve claims. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
You said do this separate.
If you don't mind, just so that everybody knows when we're done with it.
So 2025 fall settlement, grand total is $9,662,115.68. 9,662,115.60.
Make motion. Second.
Motion from Steve, second from Rob to approve the fall settlement for 2025. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, credit card claims we have in the amount of $496.99. 496,990.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion from Rob, second from Steve to approve the credit card claims. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We don't have any EMS write-off?
No.
Okay, so this is all everything here?
Yes.
All right. We'll hop into the agenda. 911 PTO requests. Jim? Do you
So
have
there's 4 of them.
We have 3.
Three
Yep.
right
Okay.
now because we changed to 1. These are just to help out. These are, my staff is short and they're taking their days back.
Okay. So we have 2 requesting for personal days extended and 1 for vacation.
Right. The 2 personal, one of them was an issue that they found in the auditor's office where she came back and it wasn't cleared out, so didn't even know we had them. And the other one, she just hasn't been able to take them. She hired in August.
She was too much.
Yeah, she's picking up a lot of shifts.
Yeah, and then I guess you have to kind of, I see what
They're
you're saying.
newer hires, so those be.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Thank you.
Together. Okay. I have a motion from Rob and a second from Steve to approve all of the 911 PTO requests as stated. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So,
Good, Jim. Is that what you needed today? Yeah. Thanks.
thank you.
Mike's not here. Not like he texted me yesterday.
Okay. Diane? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is David, our new representative with Republic.
Hi, David.
Hello.
What do you got for us?
The contract proposal that we sent, so
Okay.
we weren't sure what kind of questions you guys might have on that.
I didn't have, did you see anything, Linda?
I did not.
No?
Except increases.
Yeah.
But not a lot compared to what it could be. And the whole intention is to, with going with the 2-a-week pickup on some of those sites, hopefully to cut down on that contamination.
We eliminated the cost on the overages for the waste and recycling and the contamination charges to help. The reason for some of the increases were we recommended that we do an extra pickup instead of just the one to kind of help with those overages, to kind of help minimize that bill that you guys were receiving. And I know we've cut almost half, or if not all, of the overages for you guys. I think we gave
And
you
the
guys
contamination, yeah.
roughly
It
a
was
$4,000 credit, I think, is what we what we deem to kind of help you guys out a little bit.
Linda, did you have a chance to look this over?
I did,
Okay.
It's all good.
yeah, it is.
So the proposing to do 3 of the sites with the 2 a week, and then the next one, if that works out well, we would want to target would be the Rose Lawn site.
Which we can also change that service level without extending the contract or extending the terms. So it's basically kind of like a trial. So if it works out for you guys this way, we keep it. If not, then we can just change out, go back to the once a week pickup for you guys.
Okay.
Say it's okay with Linda not having any problems.
Right, motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the
New contract.
new contract for Republic.
I'll second
So, I'm sorry, before you did that, I want to make sure, is this a 1, 2, or 3 year? You had said something about,
It's a 36 months.
so I want to make sure. I think that was in the email, but it wasn't just directly on the front of this.
Yeah, it's on the proposal, actual.
I don't have,
Yeah, okay.
I have these.
So a motion from Rob, second from Steve to approve the Republic Recycling Service Agreement after 36 months. We're in discussion. So you, within that 36 months, if there is something that we're like not happy with, or that's completely fine with us coming back and saying we got kind of have to tweak this or change this?
Yeah, from a service level standpoint.
Yes,
So
yes.
just on the sites that we're changing.
Okay,
And then if we do see that we want to increase service levels from another site that she was, which one was it?
It's, the one by, well, it was Cirrus,
The
but the
Rose
one in
Lawn.
Rose Lawn.
Then she would just call me and I just say, okay, we're gonna go from 1 to 2
Okay.
times a week, and then the terms will stay the same.
perfect. I just want
Yeah.
Yep.
just so everybody's on the same page. All right. If there's no more discussion, all those in favor? Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I
And,
appreciate you very much coming.
Oh, no problem.
and then, the contracts that they need to sign, you guys used to do it like per site, like there'd be the front page.
Mm-hmm.
All the legal stuff was the same on the rest of them. But then I would just
Yeah,
need those to get to you guys.
Yeah, if you guys wanna do them separate, we can do them separate, or we can just do like a mass one and just have everything done and signed for all of them.
That'd probably be your call. Do you wanna see them individually as the auditor, or do you wanna see them all at once?
It all gets scanned in and the contract, so it doesn't matter either way.
Whatever's easiest for you guys, we can do for you.
Okay, if we just do like all, cause all the legal stuff's gonna be the same. Okay, so we'll get that,
And I'll include all the extra pages 3 through 6.
okay. And then is it okay if he sends them electronically and then you guys sign them when you need to, or do I need to come back another meeting and sign them since you've already voted on it? What do you prefer?
I'm fine with if you want to send them DocuSign.
Okay,
Okay.
Get on there and do that.
all right, we'll do that.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Text me, tell me you actually did it, so I'll look at the email. But
What's that? Okay,
text me, say you need to read it.
okay, no, I will.
Still early for our 8:45.
They can do it, they're here.
I don't think, can we? I think, yeah, cause it's not a bid or anything.
Okay.
Unless you want economic development, there's an issue with Goodland, any of us are on here for $120,000.
Oh, that's our new,
That's under new business.
yeah, that's our new
Okay.
business. Yeah, so we got it. Work life? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Good morning.
Good morning. Excuse me. My name's Lisa Fick. I'm with First Financial Bank. I'm a work-life specialist, and I've had the pleasure of working with First for 17 years. Throughout that time, we've experienced a lot of our community members who are struggling financially, whether that's just having a resource for education or finding someone who's actually going to bank the unbanked and the underbanked. We've done the data analytics on it. We know that 70% of our community members are struggling financially to get those resources. So we've created a really invasive program that provides financial education along with the opportunity to get some financial resources. I'd love to talk through how we have elevated those scenarios for our community members and how we could potentially do that for the county as well. Historically, we have partnered through HR to implement during hiring processes to be able to provide that. Now everybody wants to talk about their finances in front of their peers and colleagues, so we do it in all different facets, one-on-one, group settings, lunch and learns to provide basic financial education, budgeting, credit, debt consolidation, home ownership. Additionally, a lot of people get the education and they're like, well, now what do I do? I don't have any resources. They just know that things are really bad. We've implemented the program to be able to provide those resources for them. We've put people into new cars without that 30% interest rate at the buy here, pay here places. They're getting traditional financial resources for that. Checking accounts. We know that a lot of our community members are using different facets to get their payroll. Chime, Cash App, they're paying to get their paychecks. We come in and provide them with elevated products and services and get them into a trusted financial institution. It's a great opportunity. It's 100% free for the county to be able to provide to the employee base. Additionally, if there are opportunities to extend this out to those that are undergoing a work release or parolees throughout that community sector, we can do that as well. We've done that through our footprint. It's an opportunity to really help re-engage those who need that financial resource. Anything you want to chime in?
It's a great product. Like you said, people could be struggling with their credit. Just giving the education and opportunity to repair, rebuild, and improve their credit, and just gives them an opportunity that a lot of people don't have, especially in schools now. Balancing a checkbook, creating a budget, writing a check, stuff like that. Or if they have a pay card, it gives them an actual bank that supports them, and not just having that pay card where they just have to go take the money out of the ATM. They can actually treat it like an actual bank account. And we have multiple locations, especially in the area. We have a branch in Goodland, Crown Point, Cherville, Waseca, Illinois, Kankakee, a lot of different areas that support not just the southern part of the county, but the whole county as in a whole.
Absolutely.
So where are you guys from?
I'm the Goodland branch in Goodland, Indiana. Yeah.
So, because we didn't have any information in our packet.
Oh.
It just said you were on the agenda.
I can forward that out. I have everything in a PDF. I'll get it to you guys to look over and review. I didn't print anything.
So do you work out of Goodland too then?
I work all throughout the area. I cover every bit of Northwest Indiana,
So you're
all the
like
way
a
down to
territory
Lafayette. Pardon?
You're like a territory rep.
Correct. That's the nice part about being a work-life specialist in that sector is that I'm not beholden to banking centers, staffing and scheduling. We have partnered with several large production companies around the area where I go in and be the banker for those employees at 2 a.m. for a midnight shift, because some of those people don't get the access to that. So I can be really creative with my schedule. Yeah.
It's something she can offer to all county employees, no matter like what level they are, even part-time, volunteer. Like they're all eligible for her assistance in education. Just some people don't know like how to buy a home, the first steps to take to buy a home, or they don't have credit and can't get a car, or their kids can't get a car. We extend that to the family as well. So it's just an opportunity to help them start their financial journey.
And then I just lean into my partners, our mortgage loan officers for that education, our small business partners for any of that might be needed.
If you could send us
Absolutely.
information, that'd be great.
Happily.
So,
I can do that.
Yeah, we'll get that to you today probably.
Where do you do the education at? Like only at the banks, or do you
No.
go out to like the?
It's really whatever makes the most sense. So we travel a lot. We meet in person. We do some virtual if that's what makes sense. We do have financial education modules on our website that I push out to some people. But I'll be really honest, if it's not in person, a lot of people don't take advantage of it. So we really want to, that's our main goal. That's the priority, is to provide the education. We need to make it makes the most sense for the companies we partner with. Yeah, whatever that looks like, we do.
I mean, whether it would be here at the government center on a certain day that you guys want to have this be available, if it's a certain department, if they don't get to the
Yeah.
government center, if we have to go meet them, somewhere else in the county, if it's the jail or the courthouse or
Right.
whatever, we can make ourselves available there as well.
For instance, Saturday, we've got one at 4 in the afternoon, because that's what makes sense for that company. We're gonna go in and do like a later lunch for that section, and then spend about an hour, go over our topics, provide a meal, and just make sure they feel supported. All right, I will send an email out with follow-up with all the information. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll pop back up. Christine? Mike's we'll get to in the new. Matthew Andrew did let us know that he wasn't gonna be able to make it. I did tell Tammy he had some stuff that he's gonna send over for, I think, next year's.
So, yeah,
Encumbrance.
if I remember correctly, yes. I'll send it here shortly or at the very beginning of January. And those that need to encumber, they'll be due the middle of January, and then they'll be presented to council in February. Yes, yeah, it's the radio project, because I didn't get all the money spent that we appropriated in the landfill, so they'll have to request, because it's not complete.
Mark? How are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
Thank
Good morning.
You're welcome.
you. I love your emails, Bill says.
What's that?
Your emails every morning is great.
Okay.
It's the right way, I think.
I'm trying. I'm not going to be perfect, but I'm trying. So,
Great.
I know you guys are kind of in the loop with what's going on in the department pretty much day to day or week to week. But the biggest thing right now is still getting that schedule covered. So we just hired a full-time EMT that's going to be working as the assistant director, as you guys know. That's going to be a big help. So before he came on full-time, we had 3 24-hour shifts that were open every third day. So in a month, one of those shifts equates to roughly 240 hours, depending on how the days fall in the month. So if we have 3 of those, I mean, that's a lot of hours we have to cover. So we've had a lot of full-timers stepping up and picking up overtime shifts so that we have these ambulances staffed. But we've got guys that are doing 2 weeks of work in a week, essentially. People that are working 48 hours, taking 12 or 24 hours off, and then working another 48 hours, and just, they're here constantly. So I'm appreciative that they're stepping up and doing it, but if they're not available, if someone gets hurt, like, the wheels of this thing are gonna come off. So getting these other open positions filled is a big priority. I have 2 interviews scheduled later today, and then another one on Monday. One of them is a paramedic looking for a full-time position, and the other ones are EMTs that are looking for a combination of full-time and part-time. So my intention is to see how that goes, see what we can do with them. I know that my understanding is we have approval for funding for one of those 2 more positions that are open. The other one has been kind of left open, is my understanding, for part-time to pick up or for people to pick up for overtime. That's something I'd like to talk with the council later today about, getting on their radar, maybe getting funding for that down the road. So long as you guys are, on board with me having that conversation, I'll do that later. But the biggest thing right now is getting these trucks staffed so that we can respond to medical calls when they come in.
And from my understanding, the biggest hurdle at this point is there's been years of a part-time roster
Sure.
that just,
Yeah.
it's been the same people and they just haven't.
Yeah, so on this next schedule for January, we just published the schedule in the last week. So what we do is we ask for availability for all of the staff, whether they're full-time or part-time. What can you do extra beyond your normal scheduled shifts if you're full-time? And for the part-time people, we just say, here's the calendar, let me know when you can work. So we have, I don't know the exact number of part-time staff between EMTs and paramedics. I think there's somewhere between 10 and 20 part-timers. Of that group of people, I've got availability for one EMT that put himself available for 24 hours in the entire month. So the rest of the calendar in January is filled by full-timers, or there's just open spots that we've not been able to fill yet. So in December, what that equated to was 2 instances where we didn't have staffing for an ambulance at the North Station. So we had 1 ambulance for the county on 2 occasions. So we don't want that to happen. That's not good for the county. When that happens, we're straining our ability to respond to calls effectively. We're assuming that our mutual aid agencies have ambulances available to come help us. They're having staffing issues too. They're busy too. If we say like, well, it's okay, we have 1 truck, we can have Lowell come down, or we can have Benton County come up, like it's a big assumption that they even have an ambulance available.
Well, they've been calling us.
Right, and they're straining our resources by us going out of the county to help them too. So having our ambulances staffed and covered is like bare minimum. I can't work on fixing problems in my department, whether it be behavior issues, attendance issues, like good patient care issues, if I have holes in the schedule and I have no ability to send someone elsewhere. So we're kind of like over a barrel unless we get the schedule filled. So we're lack of a nice way to put it.
You're working on it. You're getting
So
there.
we're working on it. So we terminated 3 people in the last couple of weeks for some attendance issues and just not doing what they're supposed to be doing. We're working on improving our scene times. We've had some crews that have been spending too much time on scenes that have been keeping ambulances out of service and delaying, ambulances getting available for the next call. So, start to finish, most of our calls should be done in about 90 minutes. If it turns into something that it takes 3 hours from start to finish, like that's a problem. I'm trying to like rein that in. So. But working on fixing some culture things. We're making sure that the stations are getting clean, the ambulances are being cleaned and put back together the way it should be. We hired that deputy director. He's going to be helping. Right now he's doing orientation. So step 1 is learn how to be an EMT in Newton County. And then once we get that foundation built, he can work on some leadership things. So right now he's working with the Medic 1 crew in Brook for the first 12 hours, just doing basic EMT orientation. Yesterday he was at the North Station. We're going to continue doing that sort of thing this week. Once he's able to function as an EMT, he'll be clear to start picking up shifts. And then as things progress, he'll start bringing on some like leadership type responsibilities. So last time I met with you guys, I'd mentioned that we did hire a paramedic that wanted to work here full time. She's from outside the St. Anthony system that we function in. Before she can work for us as a paramedic, the hospital has to give us their blessing on her working under the doctor's license. That still has not happened. I reached out to the people in charge of that last week, and they said they were still waiting on a letter of good standing from her previous employer that they've not gotten. So until they get that and sign off on her, she can't work as a paramedic in Newton County. So she was looking for full-time. I'm going to reach out again to her today and see what we can figure out, but if we can't get that letter, we can't use her as a paramedic. So I think we need to keep looking and exploring other options because we need to get these spots filled.
Has the Indeed and all of that been helpful?
Yeah, so the Indeed posting, we got 6 resumes through Indeed. I was able to get in touch with 5 of the 6. 3 of the interviews, 2 are today and 1 on Monday are from those. There's 1 paramedic that was interested. He said he can't interview until January. So, we'll see. Maybe we can use him part-time or who knows what. Someone gets hurt, someone resigns, we send someone somewhere else by January, we might have a spot. So we'll talk more when he's available. But that was super helpful. So I don't know if we're continuing to get any of those, but if we do, we'll reach out and we've got a group of part-time people that aren't picking up a lot and helping a lot. And if we can just keep refreshing, that gives us the ability to fill some spots when we have breakdowns or call-offs or people getting sick, that sort of thing. So that pretty much covers it. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
yep. Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
Great job.
Health Department. Sharon. Nothing?
Aren't you tired?
I'm very tired.
Oh, Mark Monemeyer gave us this stuff. Which he just kind of handed it to me, so I apologize. So the response, those buttons that he was talking about at the last minute, or at the last meeting, sorry. The health department still wants to, and the assessor's office still wants to, but that's all he's gotten. So I don't know what we want to do with this, or if there's anything. But that was that $4,830. Well, that was for the 15, but I don't know if we located all of those. But those were the two departments that still want to and two.
Why is that so much money?
It's a software.
The cost of it is an annual support and maintenance plan.
For the Will
Panic buttons are not,
Right.
panic buttons themselves are not expensive, but the annual support and maintenance plan is more than double what the cost of the 15 fobs are.
So then would you feel more comfortable with suggesting to Mark that we reach back out to this Response Technologies, tell them that if any, we only need 4, and see what they come back with, and if it's still outrageous, then we're just not gonna, we'll just move on.
I do
Okay.
know it does work, because I think we did, in the assessor's office, one that didn't realize, and they were in Roseland, and accidentally kept hitting it on their key ring, because it was in the pocket or something, and they were getting dispatched to, they were trying to locate her.
Why don't you consider economics of scale of just adding wireless devices onto the existing panic buttons we have in here with one vendor instead of having 2 monitoring and service charges? I'll help you with that if you want to pursue that. It is very expensive to have 2 different companies for redundant systems.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
So it will reach in a vehicle when they're out on site, or?
Oh.
Yeah, these are
That's what
just,
this is.
these
I'm
are
talking about
these.
in-building.
No.
These are.
These
when
are-
you go
All right, I
out.
stand corrected.
Like I said, I'm starting to fight with anybody, but so the assessor needs 2.
Health
Having their
departments.
co-rings. Why do they need to?
Well, I guess why don't we table it till we get some more information, talk to the 4 that want it, and find out, have Mark reach out to them about what 4 would be versus 15. I'm guessing the maintenance and support plan is not gonna change. It's still gonna be $3,305. I think that's pretty expensive, but there's gotta be some different options. I mean, there might be something on the app you can put on your cell phone.
I was just gonna say, can't we just have
That's what the school
the sheriff's
uses.
department on speed dial and that's the same thing as dispatch, it doesn't cost for them.
Well, and that was why I was asking at the last meeting if they were just like those, whatever, there's so many different companies now that have those types of things that, yeah, this is, because this only goes till the end of this month, so I'm assuming this is gonna be null and void at that point.
It's a lot of money for 4 people to have 4 grand buttons.
Does it auto renew if we don't tell them something?
No,
No. Okay.
no, it's just the annual plans with the effective dates is only through the 31st of this month. So I think they were looking to us to
Yeah.
pay this $4,830 invoice without asking what it was all for. So,
Sometimes they auto renew those things. So,
Right,
oh,
right,
you
no.
didn't tell us you're on for another year.
no. Okay, so then so we don't necessarily have to table this. We're just moving forward. We need to find a different company with the same product and the same type of, okay. Just so I can pass this along correctly.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gotta be a different company, but maybe Mark needs to reach out to them about.
And see what else, yeah.
That really want it, the other ones don't.
Yeah. Alright, and
don't start getting me lying here. I'm not quite sure exactly all of what I'm looking at here. Okay. So I can come back to these? Okay. We had the discussion about the Gator last meeting. I know we can't do anything today. He did bring quotes, so we have to look over those. And that's that. Like I said, I don't know what I'm looking at there. Mercedes?
I don't have a big update or anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you though, tonight we are having a big scholarship workshop for all Newton County kids. So you don't have to be in 4-H to be a part of it. So if you see a kid today who's getting ready to go off to college or even as a junior in high school, encourage them to attend. I've got Invested Ed coming in to talk about financial aid and to also talk about other financial options that come with, college. And we all realize that, scholarships don't always cover everything, and you may not get enough to cover what college is going to be and the cost of it. So they're coming in to talk about those opportunities, and of course, like always, I am partnering with Jasper Newton Foundation for that. And they're going to talk about all of their scholarship opportunities too. So I'm hoping it'll be a good night for everybody to get as much information as possible. So, and then of course, Jamie has lots of PARPs coming up. So if that applies to you, you probably received a long letter in the mail with all of the opportunities that are available to you that are coming up this year. So, and then of course, Deb's got a lot going on. She's doing, I think the park has maybe quieted down a little bit with the snow, but she's still updating those the storybook walk as well monthly. So, and you can check that out in our newsletter that we send out as well. So that's what we got.
Scholarship is here, but what time?
Yes, it's in this room. It's at 7 o'clock tonight. So made it a little bit later.
Is that posted on social media where we can
It
share?
is.
What page?
You can just go to our Purdue Extension Newton County page. So, yep, if you want to share that, that's awesome. I don't have very many signed up, but I know it's definitely needed. So, and we had a 4-H member get recognized for winning the Lilly Scholarship, which was really, really awesome. He's also a part of Student Leadership Academy, so it's super cool to see the impact that all of those programs have on building those individuals. I don't know, Abby, how many have we had go through Student Leadership Academy that
I think we only had 1 year that they weren't the Lilly recipient, but all the rest of them.
Yeah. So, super outstanding individual. Aaron Turner is. He's really, really great, very, very deserving of it, but really great applicants too. I mean, there was 3 or 4 of them that had been either a part of 4-H or Student Leadership Academy at one point who were up for it. So, pretty amazing. But that's what I got.
Thank you. Bree?
Good morning.
Morning.
So just a few updates from the Soil and Water Office. Last week we had our PARP workshop. So that's our applicator recertification. Excellent, good. We had a good turnout. We had about 40 folks there, including Steve, which was wonderful. We had 2 really good speakers come, Ashley Adair from Purdue, and then Carl Ramsey came, and they were both really good talks. So we were really happy with that. We're working on plans for our annual meeting right now, so save the date for February 12th. We'll have invites out for that here soon. The board just has to approve those this week, and then we'll get those sent out. So, annual meeting coming up. That'll be at the 4-H building down at the Newton County Fairgrounds. We have Phil Anderson coming to speak at that, and he's going to talk about the importance of community connections and what that looks like for Newton County specifically. He's a really cool historian, storyteller guy, and he also farms with his family and stuff and has some really good things to talk about. So he'll be coming to speak at that. For our Lower Kankakee Watershed Initiative grant, we were just awarded an additional $41,000 from the state for that. So we've got more funds to spend up in the Kankakee River watershed. So if you guys know of anybody who's interested in cover crops, equipment modifications for planters, Whatever it might be, we've got funds to spend, so just send them my way. We're working on our spring tree sale for fruit trees, our fish sale, stuff like that. Starting to get ready for 2026 and getting our ducks in a row. And then through our partnership with the State Department of Agriculture, we're able to issue additional funds to farmers within the Iroquois River watershed this year who enrolled ground in the Conservation Reserve Program. So that's CRP, it's like a set-aside program to do filter strips and stuff like that, primarily filter strips. And with that, we're able to add on an additional incentive payment for anybody who signs up in the Iroquois River watershed. So right now, I think we have close to $30,000 going back out to farmers primarily within Jasper and Newton County. So we're really excited about that and just waiting on payment for the state to get those out. So it'll be a nice Christmas present for our farmers here. So we've got that going on, and then there is a new insurance premium program through the State Department of Agriculture. So if you planted cover crops this year, you can get $5 back, reimbursed, something from your insurance. So it's a new state program that just went statewide this year. Before last year, it was just for selective areas around the state, and they just released that late last week. So if you guys are interested in that, if you planted any cover crops this year, let's go ahead and get your farms signed up so you can get some money back.
There's a limit on that, correct?
Yes, I think so. I want to say
750 acres?
yes. Yes, it's under 1,000 acres. And it's $5 an acre you'll end up getting back for that. So that's about all I've got. You guys have any questions for me? All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Veterans Service, we've been getting a lot of interest in the VSO. HR has been conducting the phone interviews and sending that to us, with them kind of being aware with the holiday and everything. It's kind of tough to get interviews set up, but
There's a couple good ones on there.
yeah. So
Is there interest in making it full-time or stay part-time, or we got some of
The
the,
guys
It's
that
mixed.
most qualified, that's full-time.
because we had a full-time, and then back part-time. I was just curious.
yeah, I know there's been quite a few that won't take it unless it's full-time, but at the same point, there are a few that are interested in part-time as well. So I think we have a decent mix of those. So
Wish we had health department nurses, that many applicants.
that's the health department's responsibility. The board's got to do that. Assessor, can I come back to you, Tammy? Rebecca?
Morning. I'd actually like to talk with you guys in conjunction with the sheriff.
Oh.
If that's possible.
He was next on our list
Sheriff's
anyway.
okay with it.
Perfect.
He is back and you're not.
Now you don't know that.
We want to talk to you guys about the county's Axon contract and services that are provided by Axon. So Axon is the company that provides the body cameras, and they also provide storage for all of the evidence, the body camera evidence, and any other digital evidence, right? Am I missing anything on that? In the past, there has been kind of some overlap between the Sheriff's Department and the Prosecutor's Office as far as the agreement between the county and Axon. So there was a lot of confusion around this because the last time a contract was entered was approximately 2020, give or take. The contract was in the name of the Sheriff's Department, but was signed by an investigator from the Prosecutor's Office. And it was paid for through diversion funds from the prosecutor's office. And that, it's not uncommon for us to collaborate on expenses, but the Axon rep tells us that this is the first time that he's seen this kind of an arrangement within a county. And we're happy to do that. That's not a problem for us. I don't think it's a problem for the Sheriff's Department, and it's certainly not a problem for Axon. The problem is that as we and I think other law enforcement agencies everywhere have become increasingly reliant on Axon for the services that they provide, they have become significantly more expensive. So they provided us a quote for the contract renewal, and based on the fact that the county uses Axon to store Axon footage, but also there's some additional charges incurred because there's a separate type of storage for all of the other digital evidence that the county uses evidence.com for. Then, in terms of the process and the flow, my office then uses this stuff through ShareFile, and as I understand it, Captain Wilson or someone at the Sheriff's Department has to spend quite a bit of time uploading all of that Axon body camera footage and other information over to our office. So it's very time consuming. The quote we received for just the Sheriff's Department's Axon package is $122,316 for a 5-year contract. So that breaks down to $24,463 per year. Included in that, as I mentioned, is a breakdown for that, they call it a la carte storage, so that's footage that is not Axon video. That dollar amount specifically, I want to draw your attention to, that is $7,290. The reason why that line is of extra importance is because the prosecutor's office has the opportunity to use a new program called Axon Justice Premier, and there's also a Justice Premier Plus. This is something we're not currently using, but we would like to be. This program would replace our ShareFile, and it would integrate with what the Sheriff's Department is doing, and it will pull all that body camera footage automatically. And so
Chris isn't sitting there spending hours.
exactly. So the reason that I called your attention to that specific line item in the Sheriff's Department quote is because the quote for the prosecutor's office includes unlimited storage, which will pull that third-party storage, so we can eliminate that from the Sheriff's Department quote, and it's absorbed into our quote. So the Premier Plus, which is what we would prefer to have, is $12,200 per year, and this is again a 5-year contract, and there is a $4,500 one-time onboarding fee at the beginning of that contract.
So the 7,200, was that a year or was that 5 years?
That's a year.
So the 12,000's for 5 years.
That's per year for 5 years. It's per year for 5 years.
What was the other number? You said at one time, what was that?
$4,500.
$4,500. Mm-hmm.
That's a one time.
Yes. Yes. So what that means is that Axon Justice would be adding about $5,000 a year, but we're also going to eliminate the need for ShareFile, and I don't know exactly what the ShareFile cost is. Julian tells me he thinks it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,000 a year that we're paying for ShareFile currently. So we'll eliminate that cost. Again, the time that it saves us is incredible, and then it has a lot of added benefits that would be very helpful to the prosecutor's office and the way that our processes flow. I do have some information, if anybody cares to see it, about Axon Justice and Justice Premier, and then here's a little chart that kind of breaks down what the differences are between these. So our ask really is not only that we ask that you approve this extension of the Sheriff's Department's existing contract and a new contract for Axon Justice for the prosecutor's office, but In terms of funding, obviously, we're sensitive to the fact that, the county is looking to save money where it can and cut costs where it can. So the prosecutor's office has been operating, as I think we've talked about almost every time I've been here, we tend to cover all of our costs of operating our office out of our diversion and deferral fees. However, in speaking with Tammy, she has let me know that if we continue at the pace that we have been, in a few years, there will eventually be a shortfall. So rather than absorbing this through diversion or deferral, what we would like to do is use community corrections funds to pay for this, because it is still a law enforcement expense. It does relate to community corrections, so we feel like this is a proper use of those funds. And each year, the expenditures from that, the only expense that we have coming out is the cost to pay the director, and I believe we're at $7,500 a year for that. Year to date, the Community Corrections Program has brought in $46,883. And as of yesterday, Julia told me that the total amount sitting in that fund is $202,148. Right? So there's plenty of money in that fund to cover both of these contracts.
Is there a cost to move the stuff that's in, or a need, is there a need and or / cost to move the stuff that's in the share file into this new program? Like are you still gonna need access to that data, and if it can't be pulled in, we have to maintain a contract for so long so you can go back and get that legacy data? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I don't know the answer to the question you're asking. That's a question I would have to pose to IT, and I apologize, I should have done that before now, but I didn't think of that.
So then this contract is specifically signed within your guys' department, or this is something that the county then?
It's my understanding that the commissioners are the only people who have the authority to sign contracts on behalf of the county. I mean, I know there are some very limited exceptions, but I don't think this falls into one.
Okay.
You proposed using community corrections.
User fees.
User fees, so community corrections has a governing board. Are they?
It's an advisory board.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure they're aware of what, yeah.
It is an advisory board, and due to the time crunch involved here, because the Sheriff's Department's Axon contract expired on Saturday or Sunday, so they're willing to work with us, and they understand that there's going to be a little bit of a gap here, but we wanted to try to get this in front of you all as quickly as possible in the hopes that maybe you guys would be willing to approve it, pending a favorable outcome from a meeting of the Community Corrections Board.
So, Sheriff, do you think the amount of money we're gonna save more than that by the deputy not sitting there doing all this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for the time it takes for him to upload those videos, I mean, it's better now than it was for the internet connection. But, I mean, the simple fact is, what these body cameras have ultimately saved you, dollar-wise, you can't put a price tag on that.
So, if these two agree, then I'd say just, if they're in a crunch, do it.
I agree. If they're gonna work together, I think it's good.
Okay. Is that your motion?
Yes.
Second.
Motion from Steve and second from Rob to approve the
Axon here plus.
Axon contracts as presented. Are you contingent on favorable or just? All right, as is. All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you. And just to be clear, for the minutes, those funds will come out of Community Corrections, is that right? Okay.
You'll have to do an additional though, because that's one that's appropriated, so I won't have the funds really until next year.
Okay. No problem, we'll get that done. Okay. Thank you guys very much.
One addition to this, if I may, I want to publicly thank the prosecutor. As this came about, the sheriff's office was under the impression of, it's your contract, deal with it. And the prosecutor's office was under the impression of, it's the sheriff's office contract. She could have very easily said, hey, this is in the sheriff's office name, figure it out. And I would have had to come back and ask for additional out of county general for a large chunk of money. And she's worked with us again another time where tax dollars aren't being used and we're meeting the common goal. So publicly, I want to thank you and appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Can I stay?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's easy. The sheriff's office for several years, this is relating to standard operating procedures and policies, has used a company out of California, and that contract is coming up, I believe, in February. As in the corporate world where one company buys out another one, that's what's taken place here, and the service end of that has completely taken a dive. Statewide, the Indiana Sheriff's Association has partnered with, it's called Policies 360, which is all one word, Policies 360. The Sheriff's Association Policy Committee has been going through this. These will be policies written for Indiana in the 7th Circuit. There is an agreement that has to be entered into, which I need your authority to do so. The agreement has been given to Mrs. Harris, and I think we played ping pong with this for a month, and we're down to one correction. Mrs. Harris, anything to add on that?
In the dispute resolution, paragraph 16.1, it indicates that any dispute resolution would occur in the state courts of Washington County, Minnesota. And I said that needs to be changed to Newton County, Indiana. And if they change that, then I would say approve the contract.
So can we approve it contingent with them fixing that?
Yes.
I'll make that.
Second.
Motion from Steve, second from Rob. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
If I may, is this still part of Lexipol, or
Pardon me?
is this still part of Lexipol?
Nope.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
All right, new business. Town of Goodland contract amendment. That was this is the economic
From what I understand, they took a loan for $120,000. They made the first 2 payments.
They have not.
I was told they did, but so I misunderstood that. They haven't made any payments?
They've made one. So I think it's coming down to the second payment, because if everything was in good standings, I don't have everything, that they could be forgiven, I think, another 20. Because it was 120, they had paid back 80. They've paid back 40.
Okay.
I have not seen the receipt come in for the other one, because it started in 23, they paid in 24. I think the last is supposed to be now.
So I mean, like, this is for our time, but what I was led to believe is that we could forgive 20,000 of it if we chose to.
Correct.
We don't have to.
Correct.
And they assume that we should just forgive the whole 40,000 last payment. Is that, understand that correctly?
I'm not quite sure what was going on with that. It took me a bit, because I didn't even remember it. I
Let's
had
just
to do some
table it till
looking.
Mike's here, because Mike could be here, he is doing his other, his job, but.
When I went through and done all the research, we actually wrote the check for $126,300. The $6,300 was for surveying, or the engineering and the splits and the subdivision and everything they created for that residential. Like I said, it was to pay back 40 and 40. We've only received the first 40. So I think that's where we were going back and forth. If they met these obligations, good standings, there was a possibility we could give another forgivable of 20 and not have to pay the whole. But the whole 80 has not been paid back yet.
Then I don't think we can talk about it, the ladies paid back, we can discuss.
But there's another year left on the contract, and I got this last week while I was away, and I didn't get back till last night. I would like an opportunity to look
It
into
sounds like
this a
they
little
haven't made the
deeper.
second payment, and we have all
And
kinds of
Becky's
time.
here, she might, because she's the attorney.
So I would recommend you table it to the 31st meeting.
The Goodland Economic,
Yes. Sorry, I was just on the phone with Mike about that.
Well, I was texting with Mike about it, so.
Okay, perfect. So Mike is at a training. I think he may have reached out to some of you to explain what was going on. So this contract was between the Newton County Economic Development Commission, the Newton County Commissioners, and the Goodland Town Council, I think. And this was a forgivable loan, the terms of which called for repayment to be made over a series of years, and those payments have been made as agreed. And, okay.
We only received 40,000. I don't have a receipt of 80,000 when I went digging and looking.
Okay. Well, that is different than I understood it to be. So in that case, could we table this so that we can get our ducks in a row and come back? Great.
I just wanted to let you know, as
Yeah.
I was looking, I did not see any more but the 40. I mean, it took me a while. I couldn't remember and done my research.
Okay. Nope, we definitely need to know the answer to that before we want to ask you guys to do anything about that. So, okay, thank you.
Is that your motion?
I'll make a motion to table this till everybody can be here and we can have answers.
Okay, thank you.
Motion from Steve, second from Rob to table the Economic Development Town of Goodland Contract Amendment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Temporary transitional employment.
So this year, we wound up with workers' comp having to go through Liberty Mutual. And we found out if someone is on workers' comp and is in between, that they offer a temporary transitional employment. So we could have an employee that is out on workers' comp, but they could go and work for a volunteer program. They would still get their pay through workers' comp, or the county could also offset. We don't have to. But this is to help get them back to work quicker and working, even though they're doing whatever they have to do with therapy. So this is a program we can enter in. They can actually find the volunteer programs. They said they will find one within 48 hours and work with the employee, but this is to help get them back quicker and not be out as long.
What happens if the employee doesn't want to do that other work?
Workers' comp will no longer pay them. If they refuse, then everything is null and void and they don't.
So this is a way of keeping people from milking this to death, which we already have. What's the cost of this?
It's in our, well, it says the cost to set up is $475 and up to 3 months from monitoring. So I haven't looked into all of the costs, but I still think it ultimately will be cheaper than
What we're doing now. Yeah. I mean, if Tammy's researched it and thinks it's a good idea, then we make a motion to approve it.
We can do more, but I think it's fine.
To start, that's a way to get some people off for milking it.
Did you make the motion?
Yeah, I made the motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion from Steve and second from Rob to approve the temporary transitional employment, is that what it's called? Employment program. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Once you do get the hard numbers and stuff though, will you send that to us?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I'll make sure Linda's looped in and working.
And then, whatever departments that do have those that need to, like, be on ASAP, then we can get that going. Okay.
This is a carrot and a stick. This is a carrot and a stick.
Carrot and a stick. Tammy, do you have anything else for us?
The only thing is, and then we'll go back onto council, I don't think we narrowed down your guys' times for joint meeting. I know we're doing the second Tuesday, you guys are at 8:30, council will follow. I don't know if you guys want to do quarterly, monthly. I'm not saying you have to do it right now. We can wait till you guys do it for your organizational meetings, because then we can advertise. However, I just gotta keep it on the radar, what you guys want to do. Don't even have to discuss it now.
So we're doing the second Tuesday.
You guys do the first and third Tuesdays. they're the third
Try
Tuesday.
signing your name to that
Oh,
one.
sorry.
Can they
Great.
I just think it's the second, so.
Why are we changing days? I mean, why can't we have the same week?
You guys are.
What if they're doing a second Tuesday?
Sorry, I misspoke.
Okay.
For the second meeting, it's
Okay.
the first
Day.
and third Tuesdays. Council meets the third Tuesday. Same day.
Okay, okay.
It'll be in the morning. We're just gonna follow you guys. Yeah, I did misspeak. I misspoke on the week. And it can still be, we can wait until you guys, you won't meet at the same time in January on the 6th, but it can still be discussed. I just don't have a schedule for it, so I'll
Yeah,
I'll
worst
think
case,
about it.
except for planning part of the season, worst case.
I think it's just with some schedules, you know, with them going first, it works better than us going first, and then, like now, we need us going first, and then, so I think that's kind of where it's gotten. But I think the joint, and this is just my opinion, whatever, at this point. Yeah, the joint ones, I would be more in favor of doing like quarterly or beginning, mid, end of year type of thing, or as needed, just so it's not, I feel like it gets too confusing when we're having a joint meeting every single meeting and then it turns into a really long day. So,
We can set it quarterly, and if you don't need it in between, you're still first, the middle, and the end, and we can,
right.
can adjust.
And don't,
If something comes up, then we can take this can be joint.
As long as everybody, I feel, could let us know within a week's notice, then we can get, if we do the joint, it'll always be the third Tuesday. But we just gotta get it so we can advertise the time then.
it's gonna be up to Brooks, president. Not
I
me.
think we agreed on this last year, but I don't remember this sucker net.
That's not.
Abby,
You're
out,
good at it.
out. All right. Linda? Sorry.
Thank you all for not bothering me the last 12 days. I do appreciate that. At the last meeting, you guys gave me a CSI contract for Janice Wilson to review. I've reviewed it.
Oh,
It looks
yes.
fine. It's just her yearly software contract, so it's okay to sign.
I think the motion, we had already made the motion, right? Okay, so that's,
Yeah, she approved, everyone approved everything.
all right, cool. And then we'll have to start looking at board appointments, because a lot of them do end
This year.
this year. I have not been able to look at any of them, to be honest with you.
I glanced at them the other day, but not big deal.
So, I think the only other question I had was, we have a meeting on the 31st. What happens if only one of us is physically here?
I changed my mind, I'll be back, so.
Okay.
We always have one on the 31st, claims are due, and it is to close out the end of the year. We always do it at 8:30 at the courthouse.
Okay. I do, but with our ordinance, so if one of us does have to call in, we can vote, we cannot vote. I guess I didn't understand that.
I think we passed it, so we can call it in.
We can call it in, but
You
the
have, I
vote,
think, my understanding, you have to, out of the 3-person board, you have to physically have one person on site.
But
gotcha.
as of now, I should be back here by the 31st.
Right. Anything else? Anybody else? No? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll say.
All's in favor? Aye. All right, where am I signing this? Oh, we're all